Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to go over the latest batch of news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters to each topic are listed down below. First up, Michelle Specht, who previously has done voice work in STO for Krog, Loris, and Chimoris, has just announced on Facebook that she has just recorded some more audio for the Face and Phi character for an upcoming content release for STO. And as for when we'll be seeing this upcoming content, my guess is that on PC we'll have Season 33 dropping with the new story episode and some other new content on September 12th. And for those of you on console, that update would then be dropping in November, as we've seen with the seasonal releases for the past couple of years. And heading over to the PC patch notes for today, they fixed some issues with the flagship celebration event. The first was just a visual bug where the current event was not listed on the event campaign as an eligible event, but it has been giving you progress for the past week. So again, that was just a visual issue. And the other issue here that they fixed for the flagship celebration event was that the daily event timer was not displaying. So as many of you have been well aware, the timer saying how long until you can get your next batch of progress was just not there. But as of the patch today, it has returned. Next up, they fixed an issue with the Woven Obelisk carrier in that it did not have access to subsystem targeting abilities. And for the Achilles, they have now fixed it so that it does have the correct cyclical quantum slipstream drive. So some good fixes there. And I do expect the next couple of patch notes to be on the lighter side, especially if we're getting a new season here on PC in just a couple of weeks. Expect the next patch or so to be a bit light, and then there will be a big list of patches when that season drops. And as many of you may recall, in my last news video, I talked about some upcoming ship leaks. One of them was the Lamar, the other was a remaster for the Rapier variant of the Saber. And we have some better pictures of this remaster, courtesy of Mr. Reeves over on the STO subreddit. And I'll have this link down below if you want to take a closer look. But you can see that they've done a really good job with this remaster. And again, the current version of this that we have in the game for the Rapier is a skin from all the way back at the launch of the game, so the quality difference is quite substantial here. So really good work that they've done. Next up, both PC and console have some new additions to the MUDs market. The items each platform are getting are different, but both of them do have a 75% sale that's going to be running for all of the non-bundle items in the MUD store from today up through September 2nd at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So again, both platforms have the exact same sale running at the same time, but the items added to the store are different on each platform. And for PC, we have 3 new additions here. The Transmorphic Containment Universal Console, which, as I'll show you here in a minute, is a really, really bad console and absolutely not worth your money. Then we have the Anaphasic Plasma Candle and the accompanying emote, and the Holographic Dr. Beverly Crusher Science Bridge Officer. And pricing wise, it's 1,000 Zen for the holographic Dr. Beverly Crusher Bridge Officer, and she does come with an ultimate tech upgrade. Then for the Anaphasic Plasma Candle, that is 2,000 Zen, and that comes with just the candle and the Hold Candle emote. And then we have the Universal Console, which is also 2,000 Zen, and this comes with a single ultimate tech upgrade. The first item I want to look at is the Transmorphic Containment Console, which is something that you should absolutely not purchase. It is not worth your money. The passives on it are 21.4 Starship Control Expertise, 10% Flight Turn Rate, and +7 Aux Power setting. The clicky on this has a 2-minute recharge. It doesn't work with Uncon. It doesn't really scale up with most of the buffs out there. So it's got a long cooldown that you can't do much about, and it does not that much damage. So the only reason to go for it is if you just absolutely have to have this fire effect that it has, which I'll show you here, which you can see is not really doing too much damage. And the next addition here is the holographic Dr. Beverly Crusher Bridge Officer. So there's quite a few people that seem very fond of this bridge officer because of the space trait she has. A lot's happened in the last 20 years. But I can tell you, this trait is not worth using over a superior Romulan operative or watcher bridge officer. The 2 effects that this trait gives you is on activation of a beam or torpedo firing mode, you're going to gain bridge officer cooldown reduction for 5 seconds, but that can only happen once every 30 seconds. And that cooldown is just 1% each second for 5 seconds. So it's an incredibly small buff with a really, really long cooldown. And then the other part of this is on activation of a hull or shield repair bridge officer ability, you get a torpedo high yield 1, but that can only happen once every 45 seconds. So it's an interesting concept for a bridge officer, but the cooldowns on it are just too long, and the buffs that it gives just not powerful enough to make this a better option than an SRO or a Watcher, which are going to both provide you with a permanent crit chance and severity buff. So it's still a bridge officer that you might have fun with for ground, but if you're looking for the best options in space, the existing Watcher and SROs, in my opinion, are much better options. And the final addition for PC with the MUDs update today is the Anaphasic Plasma Candle. So this is from a TNG episode in which Beverly Crusher happens to find this candle, and it summons an entity that she sleeps with. So alongside getting this device, you're getting an emote here called Hold Anaphasic Candle. And here's the tooltip for the candle itself. So if you do happen to have the Beverly Crusher Bridge Officer, this does have a fun secondary effect there where it will give her plus 20 kit performance. And when this is used, it's going to summon an anaphasic entity for 60 seconds. Entity persists longer by possessing the body of fallen foes. So it's a neat little ground device. It doesn't do that much damage, but given it is something that you can just put into a device slot, a lot of people end up running it. I don't think that it's a must-have, but it is something that you might find some enjoyment out of. And here's what this thing looks like in action. It summons in this entity, and it'll help you out in combat. But if you have it drawing thread, it's gonna go away very quickly. This is on normal difficulty, and you can see the Borg are really just nailing it. So it's good if it's fighting alongside you, but on its own, it's not going to be super amazing. So for those of us on PC, none of the new MUDs editions are really a must-have. If you're looking for something to pick up from the MUDs store and you're wanting something from a previous Halloween event, I would recommend Sylvia's Feline Charm. This is a device that turns you into a cat, which lets you run around much faster. I would say you're going to get much more use out of that thing than the 3 new items they added in. And for those of you over on console, the 3 new additions to the MUDs market are the Sompek Energy Rebounder Universal Kit Module, the V'ger Probes Universal Kit Module, and the Fakiri Burjai Interceptor. Now, PC just got these additions a couple weeks ago, so I did just recently talk about them in another news video. So if you're wanting to see some more coverage on these items, including some visual demonstrations, I'll have a link to the news video where I talked about them down below. So it's my August 2nd news video starting at 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So if I recall, my recommendation there was basically the V'ger probes can be okay in some situations. The Sompek thing, not really needed. And the Fakiri Burjai might appeal to some niche playstyles, but overall, there's no new addition here that is an absolute must-have. And that's going to be it for today. As always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.